Joe, are you there?
Yes, I am, Chase. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for jumping on the call. The floor is yours.
You're welcome. Before I discuss what you and I talked about last Friday, and hopefully some agents will share some of their door knocking and referrals that they did, I kind of wanted to talk about why I still work with Equita. I've been with Equita since the beginning of 2005. Equita is always staying a cut ahead, a cut above our competition, okay? The Gerber product has been out. We finally got it, okay? Everybody on this call has got to understand and got to realize and feel what Equita does is to help all of us out. Of course, they benefit, but yet we have ammunition when we go into a home, okay? So Equita has now, America's got a Medicare supplement that's available in almost every state that you can get hooked up with now, okay? And you can get renewals on it every single month, okay? Gerber's pricing is so inexpensive, it's kind of like hard to believe. So any house you guys had gone to that the people could not afford it, they didn't want it, they had second thoughts, pull those people out of your archive and go back and visit those people and tell them we got a great company, ba-ba-ba, boo-boo-boo, and get them Gerber. Maybe they might be out of their 2-year period where they don't qualify for a guarantee. They might get immediate issue. And the reason I'm saying that we have other carriers is because when you decide to get out of the comfort zone and get into the faith zone and start knocking on doors and asking for referrals, doing the I formation, the T formation, giving out your cards, you have to know that you can talk about other things besides whole life final expense. Equita has term products, IULs, ULs, they have annuities, they have everything you need to be successful. Get with the home office, they'll hook you up. Get with me, get with your manager, we'll hook you up. You guys need to understand that you're working with a top-notch organization. This is why I am still with Equita. I was the second agent that came on. I believe in them. I believe in the office. I believe in Chase, and I believe in Eric, and I believe in the entire home office, okay? That's the reason I stay, and I continue to work diligently with them because they're always adding value for us agents. The only way for us to make additional money are a couple ways, and you have to ask yourself, how do I make additional money? Either you buy more leads, you buy bonus leads, okay, which if JR wants, he can get on the call now and talk about how he bought bonus leads in Georgia. I think he bought 17 leads and did $5,000 worth of annualized premium on leads that were seen by another agent, and he made money, okay? The I formation, the T formation, visiting people that live across the street and next door to your clients. You might go visit somebody who's 70 years old, but the person across the street is only 47. They might not want a whole life. They may want a $50,000 term. They might want a $250 term. You have to understand you may not have the stuff with you, and tell the people, you know something, today I have all that information, yet earlier today I used my last application. Can I get some information from you? I can run some different quotes, give you some different ideas, and I can visit back with you. It doesn't matter what they want, Equita has. Now, getting to what we talked about last week, and I know that Peter's on the call now. Peter's an agent of ours that works in Virginia, and him and I were talking this past week. And guys, I don't care how good you are in sales. There's going to be weeks where the leads, they just don't work, okay? And I got to be honest and sincere with you guys, because if you think every single week you're going to get 15 leads and make 10 sales, God bless you. You're dreaming. Now, what I do want you to dream is that you have the ability to make 15 sales out of those 15 leads. But if you really want to look at it, you can make 20 sales out of those 15 leads, because I guarantee you 5 of those people are married. So when you get your mind set up that you're going to be a machine, you're going to be a closing machine, you're not going to let nothing stand in front of you, you're going to be a bull in a china cabinet store, and you're going to tiptoe around and treat the people like a dove, but you're going to be strong and tough, you have to buy more leads. Right now, Equita will give you bonus leads for half price. There's a code that Chase will tell you about that you can get signed up for leads at half price on the bonus leads, XSA leads. Excuse me. We give you every single tool to make extra money. You can buy more leads at regular price. You can buy discounted leads, bonus leads, or XSA leads. You can knock on the houses next door. You can canvas a neighborhood, and you've got term, whole life, ULs. You've got no matter what you want at your fingertips. I'm asking you to take advantage of this stuff here, because the only thing separating you from being more successful is the thoughts that are between your ears. Okay? Peter called me this week and said, Joe, this area here I'm working just really isn't that good. I ran it before and I thought it would got better, and it didn't. So what he did, he threw his hands up and says, you know something? I'm just going to start canvassing. He went door knocking, okay? A lot of agents don't like doing that. It's kind of like, oh, it's hard. It's uncomfortable. It's kind of like, oh, I don't want to do it. He did it. And if my memory's right, I know he made 3 sales, and I think he told me $1,600 in annualized premium on 3 sales, door knocking, people who had no idea who he was. Okay? Peter's a big boy. I've met him before. Peter's 6'3". He's a huge boy. He stands back further, talks slowly, approaches the door like a gentleman, gets in, does his show, walks out with 3 apps. Okay? It can be done. Every morning when you wake up, if you say 3 positive things about your life, your day should be better. Every morning when you wake up, you take one of those little placebo pills that is a pill of courage. You're going to wake up in a happier mood. You're going to set your day up to be a positive talker, positive thinker, and you're going to take that pill, and it's going to give you that little bit of extra energy that you need, okay? Leads, getting in front of people and learning more about the products and knowing the stuff Equita has at your fingertips. Chase?
I want, at this point, I'd like to throw out there, I want to throw in one story as well, and I'll urge each and every one of you, if you're on this call and you implemented the referral process that we had talked about over the past couple of weeks, hit *2 on your line. If you're not bashful and you want to share that with us, I think we've got a guest speaker on next Tuesday's Plug and Learn that's going to talk a little bit about what he ran into, because that message, he had called me up and he had told me that it had rung true with him that week. But I had another individual that had contacted me that's brand new to the business, has been in the business for literally less than about 5 months, and just started receiving leads, and it goes directly in line with what Joe was talking about with Peter. And Peter is a seasoned vet. Peter's very good at what he does. You can see his numbers consistently on the board. But I will tell you that with this new producer, my point of bringing it up is that whether you've been doing it 20 years or you've been doing it 2 months, the ability to go in and complete a sale in itself is fantastic. It's great. But when you see a new producer or someone that's been doing it a long time, take that extra step, and they ask that question that they learned on a call or they heard on a call or that came up in a conversation with their upline, their manager, and they put that into motion and they implement it, and it works. There's nothing better for Joe, for myself, for any of our managers that are on the call. There is nothing better than to see that put into application and work. So this gentleman has, like I said, I think he's only been in the business for about 5 months, and the leads started rolling in, heard last Friday's call, and on top of wanting to go after the free telemarketing leads, he wanted to really work this week and see if the telemarketing would work. You know, if the telemarketing leads and if his direct mail would work, and then boom, can I add on the referral to this? How big of a week can I have? And by him doing that, he actually pulled 4 additional sales out this week, and he only made 2 sales off of his leads this week. So he put 4 extra sales on top after only making 2 sales from his leads this week. He had a 6 application week because he asked that question. Now, the big thing that came out of that conversation I had with him was that every person he visited, the two that he made sales on from leads, they didn't really, he didn't short sell himself with just getting 5 referrals. I think one of them gave him 9 referrals, and he was able to take his 15 leads and turn it into 20 plus leads. So I want to hear from you right now on this call that's not bashful, that does this or has done this week. Hit *2 on your line. We'll unmute you. We'll let you tell your story, because that's what the roundtable call is for. We want to hear from you, the producer. Has it happened to you before? Have you done it? And, how did it work out for you? If you're bashful and you don't want to tell the story, that's fine. But, Joe, I wanted to make sure your line was unmuted in case you had another scenario like that as well while we waited for somebody that possibly may want to share their experience. But I thought it was powerful that, if only one person gets hit with the message and it reaches them out of, 70 people that attend these calls, it's worth it. Every single time it's worth it. So if you're on the call right now, hit *2. Let's hear your story. Did it work for you this week? Did you get beat up? Did it not work? And let's see what happens.
Case, am I open?
Yes, sir.
Okay. One more thing I want to add. Marie Titus always talks about this here when she's on the calls with us, is that Marie believes in working her book of business. People she saw 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 6 months ago. So anybody on this call who has done a Medicare supplement policy, a Medicare Advantage policy, you work with a different carrier, you work with a different IMO, you have leads from 100 years ago, you've got clients you wrote before you came to work with us, those are free leads you have in inventory that you can go back and you can do a policy review. You can go back to discuss with them how they can increase their policy, because probably at that time they probably couldn't afford anything. So Marie believes in that, because there's days, as we all talk about, and the sales aren't going well. You spoke about the gentleman that made 2 sales off his leads and made 4 sales off of just door knocking and asking for referrals. Marie does that as well as works her own book of business, okay? If you got a Medicare Advantage book of business, the best thing to say is, oh, by the way, open enrollment's coming up now. Just want to get with you, see if I can maybe help you out, because you can call your present clients, okay, and say, by the way, I've got a lot of clients that are calling me about these new programs that are coming out for burial program and final expense programs, and also life insurance programs, okay? Give them some choices. See which one touches their ear. Get that hot button. And if you sit and think, guys, if you make 1 or 2 sales a week off old clients, whatever the premium is, you do the math. You plug in the math, whatever it wants. You're going to be making extra money. And the whole name of the game is making money, making clients happy, getting referrals, and making more money. That's what I wanted to add to you before.
Thank you, Joe, because as you were talking, we had a hand come up, and Mr. Kevin Perkins with Tom Simpkins and team all in. Kevin's a guy that probably has a fantastic message. We're going to get Kevin unmuted. Over 7,000 has submitted premium his first week, and he didn't even have leads. So, Kevin, your line's unmuted. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much. I just wanted to say thank you for allowing me to be part of this great organization and Joe's group and, of course, Tom's group. Very excited. Just a quick story. My very first day in the business, my very first lead, it was a mobile home park. I went to the first mobile home with the actual lead. No one was home. So I had been taught, knock 10 doors, 5 on each side. So not knowing any better, that's exactly what I did. I went to the second home. No one was home. Third home, no one's home. Fourth home, the guy's home. He's like, I've been thinking I need to do something for my 16-year-old daughter in case something happens to me. Wrote a policy, my very first lead, my 4th door in the business, just by going 4 doors down, knocking on doors cold, because they had all got the same lead piece. Of course, he didn't remember it. But the bottom line is, it does work. It does work regularly. If we work it, I think what happens is as we've been in the business longer and longer and longer, this particular aspect seems to slide further and further to the background for some reason. I've known a lot of agents. I work with a lot of agents, and a lot of just being new and not knowing any better, I did it often and wrote a lot of business. And as I got better and better in the business, I seem to do it less. But it does indeed work. And then just another quick story. 1 month last year, I decided to do no leads at all and just do door knocking, just to see how well it would work. And I picked a big apartment complex, like a small city-sized apartment complex. And just in that 1 month, just off of door knocking in that one complex, wrote $9,000 cold, right? So this stuff does work, and I just wanted to be able to share that it's just a matter of doing it, right? Even if you start slow and go to your lead and do one door and then build your chops up, and then next lead do a couple doors. You know, if you take 20 leads a week and you do 10 doors, you have 200 leads a week. So it's a great way to do everything you guys are talking about, is just to increase your business, increase your odds, increase your chances, because believe me, it does work. I just wanted to share that with you guys this morning and appreciate the opportunity to have done so.
Thank you, Kevin. I know, Joe, your line is still unmuted, so don't worry, you jump in at any time. But that's a
okay.
powerful message, because, you know, at the end of the day, as Joe mentioned and alluded to before, and you've heard other top producers talk about it on calls, you know, our leads, that's our starting point, obviously. But we cannot hedge our bets on how our leads are going to go every week, or how our overall productivity is going to go every week. You know, we make our own magic happen, and the leads are a great starting point for that. So if you're in a bad area that just, I hate working this area, I need to get this area removed, let's remove it. But, you know, you can still go out and see people, and it gives you an opportunity to have a canvas to do your thing. Joe, we've got another hand raised. It's our good buddy out in New Jersey, Mr. Jim Macri. Let's get Jim opened up. Jim, are you there?
Yes, Chase. How you doing?
Good morning. Thanks for jumping on the call. The floor is yours, buddy.
Yeah, I just want to say a couple of quick things. First of all, Joe's fantastic. I learned so much from him on his calls, and I just want to say a way to supplement extra business too. This week, unfortunately, I didn't have 5 this week, but I came in at 34 and had 6 apps. But I just wanted to tell you real quick about the 2 apps I had this week. I was at a lead. The lady was 83 years old, and her daughter filled the card out for her. And the first thing the daughter says is, "I'm not taken care of." I said, "That's just great." And I sort of ignored that and then addressed the mom. And the mom had congestive heart failure, couldn't do nothing for her. Then I just said to her, you know, "By the way, Jermaine, by the way, so what coverage do you have?" Well, I've got some through work and everything, and I'm very blessed to have about $12,000 that cannot be messed with. It'll always, you know, I'm aware. I know a lot of people, when they leave their job, they lose it, but I keep the 12. I said, well, Jermaine, can I just show you this program here I have? Just take a few minutes. And she said, yeah, you can show it to me. So I showed it to her. I was telling Joe the story, I think, yesterday. So what happened was she said, "Oh, my goodness, 2 years ago I got a quote from that same company, and it was $100 a month for $10,000. I don't know if they were showing a 10-year paid up with Transamerica or whatever, but I showed her, you know, $48 a month for $12,000. First, she said, "That's a very good rate. I'm going to think about that one." I said, "Well, before I leave, Jeremy, I just want you to think about this. Your mom's how old?" And she was 83. I said, "You're 57. I said, if there's longevity in your family, so if you live till you're 83, do you think $12,000 will be enough at age 83 to take care of everything? And remember, the rate's still going to be the same when you're 83." And she said, "Sign me up." So that was one, and that was I made a sale actually, and her name wasn't on the card, say. And then I went to another one yesterday. The lady had a bad health condition, so I had to sell her a Great Western application, but her mom happened to be at the house. So I gave the mom a Rural Neighbors presentation. She had $7,000. She's just doing cremation. She couldn't afford much, but I was able to sell her a $5,000 policy for $32.46 a month. So I think letting other people in the home, like you get a lead for that particular person in the home, there's other people in the home sometimes, and concentrating on writing multiple applications in one home besides the person that filled the card. They could have a friend there, they could have a relative there. So I ran into 2 situations where that did happen to me this week. I just wanted to touch on that.
Awesome. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate you jumping on as always. Jim's on pretty much every single call we have, which is always fun to have. Good message there, Jim. We also have another hand raised. Don't have you logged into the system here, but we've got Denver, Colorado. Your line is unmuted. Go ahead.
Hey, thanks, Chase. Ron Campbell from Colorado. I just wanted to share a couple stories. Hey, I just wanted to share a couple stories about the door knocking without any leads. My first day out of doing this, which was a week ago, the second door I knocked on, well, let me back up. I knocked on one door, talked to a couple gals. They weren't interested. Walking down the street, I noticed this gentleman out on his front porch smoking a cigarette. So as I was going by, I said, "Hi, how you doing?" He said, "How you doing?" I said, "I'm doing good." He says, "What are you doing?" "Thank you very much." My introduction. So I did my thing, got in the house, showed him what we had. His daughter pays the bills, had to be approved from her. So I did the presentation over a couple days later with her, sold it for $52.85. I'm writing her tonight. Another story is I went door knocking with a lead. The guy wasn't interested. When I walked out, his neighbor said, "Who are you?" I introduced myself. He said, "Life insurance." I said, "Yeah." He says, "You know what?" He said, "I've been thinking about that. How much is it?" You know, always the first question. How much is it? So I set an appointment. After I met with him that day, I went through this, that, and the other thing, set an appointment with him and his wife. I sold him, her, and the two sons. So that's my story.
Love it, Ron. Love it. I get fired up seeing those text threads blowing up with you and the whole team with Cliffo, because a lot of activity go on, and when you were posting about that, it's always fun to see that. It's unbelievable how you were rocking and rolling last week, just door knocking, not even door knocking the leads, just door knocking. So thanks for jumping on the call, Ron. Joe, we've got the lovely Marie Titus. Marie, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to the other gentleman's, in terms of door knocking, I was done with my appointment. So I said, okay, let's door knock and let's approach a few folks. In the past, I've gone into this building, but I always had appointments, and of course I always had an appointment back to back. So I never approached the security guard at the building that I often go to sell insurance. But this time around, I was done with my appointment, and I had a few hours before the next appointment. I said, okay, well, let's start working on our door knocking goals. And had free time, went up to the security guard, and I said, I was here. You've seen me here many times assisting a lot of people with their life insurance needs. Is that something that I can help you with? And she said, yeah, actually, I had a policy with Monumental, and I need something. I was paying about $80-something. Something happened, but I need to get my insurance back because my nephew just got killed, and, I want to make sure I get some insurance for my children. She gave me a list of about 5 or 6 people whom she wanted to insure. Basically, with premiums anywhere from probably $1,000 to $2,000 annualized premiums. Just simply approaching the security guard, and of course, since I was on a roll, I went ahead and there were some people right there in the hallway, and I said, hi, can I help you with your life insurance needs? She said, you caught me just in time because I was just talking about getting some insurance. I need this. So I said, well, can I get your number? All there, literally within steps of speaking with the security guard. And then one lady heard me speaking. She says, well, yeah, I need some insurance on my kids. You'd be surprised just simply approaching anybody. I'm sure many have heard me in the past, just simply walking up to someone. And believe it or not, it matters. I had an appointment with the lady. I had to reschedule for Sunday. But it's by the time I'm done, I probably would have added about maybe $2,000 or $3,000 of annualized premium from just simply asking somebody, hey, I'm here assisting others with their life insurance needs. Is that something that I can help you with? Okay, would you happen to know anyone who's looking for insurance right now? Here's my card. If they say they're not interested, in case the conversation comes up. So I just wanted to add to that. Believe it or not, it's not, the leads is, yes, it's good. It's a vital, probably the most vital part of our business, but it's not going to be the only source many times. If you're not comfortable approaching folks, try working, getting out of that comfort zone. All you need to do is simply say, hey, I'm in the area assisting others with their life insurance and final expense program. Can I help you with that also? And see what someone says. They can only say no, but when they say yes, you're going to be very happy. So just wanted to add to that.
Thank you, Marie. And it goes directly with what Marie just touched on. It goes directly with what I just mentioned prior to that, which is, the lead is your starting point. You have many different avenues to generate business, as Marie just mentioned.